Jimmy, yes, today is Thursday, and we all know Thursday is almost Funny Fridays, but we'll get there. But let's start with greetings. Come on. Hello, my name is Daniel. I'll be your host, your
guy in the chair.
He said it!
And today we'll go ahead and check out what the Kroger drinkers' thoughts are on the Acolyte. The Force is strong with that one. The message ain't the Force, but enjoy. Let's check it out.
Hey, remember Star Wars?
Yes.
Oh, shut up, you. Remember how it used to be this awesome space adventure with cool heroes, evil villains, epic action scenes, and inspirational messages about the importance of determination, loyalty, sacrifice, and redemption? Remember when people used to get excited at the prospect of new movies and TV shows that expanded on a rich and detailed world we all wanted to know more about? Remember when it was still considered an icon of pop culture and not a sad, embarrassing train wreck being mercilessly milked to death by a gigantic money-hungry corporation that never understood what made it special in the first place? Remember when it was still being worked on by creatives with genuine passion for the world they were adding to, instead of ridiculous, incompetent tourists and activists masquerading as filmmakers? Well, that brings me neatly along to The Acolyte, the latest excretion from Disney Lucasfilm, preparing to join the long line of failed projects that we're all going to save Star Wars. This time coming from the creative mind of Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland, who really cares about Star Wars, apparently.
Star Wars saved my life.
I don't believe you. Anyway, in much the same way that Marvel desperately held back the trailer for the Marvels as long as possible because they fully understood what an embarrassing turd they had on their hands, not to mention the sheer fan apathy towards the project, the first trailer for The Acolyte finally released yesterday, 4 years after the show was first announced and barely 2 months before it premieres on Disney+. And Jesus, it's already been ratioed into oblivion. Honestly, the memes probably got more traction on social media than the show itself. But drinker, you handsome roguish smuggler with a heart of gold, I hear you say. What's of the trailer itself? What does it tell us about the show? What's the tone and feel? What can we expect from the creative powerhouse of Leslie Headland? Well, I'll be fucked if I know, because the trailer is less of a primer for The Acolyte and more like a series of disconnected scenes carefully chosen to tell us nothing at all. I mean, I definitely had fun playing a particularly challenging game of Spot the White Guy with this trailer, because damn man, this one shows enough to fulfill Disney's entire DEI quota for the next 2 fiscal years. For example, check out this collection of Jedi Padawans and see if you can identify the one demographic that's mysteriously left out. Anyway, as best as I could piece together from various interviews and whatever tidbits of information the trailer gave us, the general gist is that the show takes place in a time of peace and prosperity for the High Republic, with the Jedi presiding over a galaxy of order and happiness, because Leslie Headland thought it would be interesting to make Star Wars with no war in it. Superb choice there, Leslie. Can't wait for you to make an alien movie that doesn't have any xenomorphs in it. Although I did like how she described the show as Frozen meets Kill Bill. Fuck. Which honestly feels like she picked the last 2 movies she happened to see and mashed them together.
The 13 of us began with a singular vision. Titanic meets Frasier.
I mean, honestly, what are you even supposed to take from a description like that? Apparently, she also wanted to explore the franchise from the perspective of the villains, because the bad guys are wildly outnumbered at that point and are the underdogs, which kind of explains this line right here.
This isn't about good or bad. This is about power.
Ah, Star Wars, the classic story of good versus evil, which is no longer about good versus evil.
This is about power.
Tell me, why is so much of modern Hollywood about tearing down classic heroes and reframing villains as misunderstood anti-heroes? Why are they trying to dupe people into believing that nothing is intrinsically good or bad, that morality and objective reality don't actually exist, and everything comes down to what you personally feel? It's almost like once you stop people from believing in anything, then they'll eventually come to accept everything. Anyway, I digress. I have to admit, I did find myself with a few questions as I watched this trailer though. Like, why is Carrie-Anne Moss fighting like she's got a metal rod shoved up her arse? Why is this diverse individual cosplaying as the 13th Doctor? Why is this guy fighting hand to hand when lightsabers exist? How exactly did Leslie Headland get such a high-profile showrunner job in a franchise that she's never even worked in before?
Like, you just have to have the confidence to walk in there and pretend like you know how to do it. I'm telling you guys, like, the truth. Like, that's how I made my first film, was that I was like, I know what's going on. I didn't at all. And I think it shows in the movie.
That explains it. If you want another fun little game for yourself, then look up pretty much any interview of Headland talking about this show, and I can pretty much guarantee that 90% of it will be her talking about her favourite subject in the entire world, herself. How important this story was to her, how it made her feel to be represented, why her characters from a fanfic written decades ago somehow find themselves in a $100 million TV show because they mattered to her.
Is that when I pitched it, because I came in and I pitched my own idea, but I would have been able to understand as a queer person, and I think I would have had a completely different life. It was like, I was like, what I'm really interested in is, but it is always, always, always about the spiritual journey of what it is to become who you are.
This show has all the hallmarks of just another vanity project from a narcissistic writer who can't see past their own reflection and identity, whose creative imagination extends no further than
put a ticket in, make a name and gay!
These are the people in charge of Star Wars now, and I think it's about time that we accepted it's not going to change, ever. Disney are never going to give this franchise up, and they're never going to do any better because, quite simply, they can't. And George Lucas isn't coming back riding atop a white horse to save the day. And in case you were ever in any doubt about that, just check out his latest statement where he publicly backed Bob Iger against the one and only guy who might actually have a shot at turning the company around. I guess a man really can put a price on his own dignity and self-respect. The point is that Star Wars today is nothing but an embarrassment to everyone associated with it. It's that pop star you idolised as a kid who's now a fat, balding, middle-aged man trying in vain to compete with artists half his age who probably has a search history more disturbing than Vosh's. It's that hot girl you dated once in high school who now has 3 kids by 3 different dads and lives off welfare checks but still goes out on the town every Saturday like she's 21. It's that 40-year-old woman in your office still listening to Taylor Swift songs, convinced there's deep meaning to be found in the trite, cliched lyrics and simplistic melodies. It's a grown-ass man who makes YouTube videos complaining about Star Wars for a living and wears shades indoors at night. Oh wait, my point here is that maybe this was ultimately for the best. Maybe it's time for fans to accept that the Star Wars they knew and grew up with is gone and it's never coming back. Maybe it's finally time to let it go and move on. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Hey guys, now that's what I'm talking about. Anyone that call themselves activists need to stay away from Star Wars. Even though Kathleen Kennedy done run into the ground, Bob Iger now is doing the same in Disney. Oh God, Disney. They used to be a couple of great movies and stuff. Now they're shit. But still, I digress. We need to get back to basics. But please, if you like this show, don't forget to like it, comment down below, and then finally subscribe for more and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video and just share. Bye.